over your MC for Summer in the City. Can't believe we're here. Those of you watching at home, thank you so much for being here. We are grateful for you. Without further ado, I want to kick off the evening for our presenting sponsor. Give it up for NetOps Technology. NetOps. Come on up here and say some words. If I don't fall. Have fun. Thank you.
Greetings. Hello, hello. Yep, we're there. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. New venue tonight. I think everybody agrees. It's beautiful. A little toasty, a little humid, but we're all getting through it. My name's Lambros Bowers. I'm with NetOps Consulting. I'm part of the team that helps provide all the IT support for NetOps. So thank you guys for being here. It's a great cause. It's a great company. We're proud to be a partner with Neighborhood Family Practice and help them bring their services to the community. So without further ado, Gene Polson is going to kick off the rest of the evening.
Welcome. Welcome to all of you, and thank you, NetOps, and thanks to all of our sponsors. Isn't this great? This is really a fabulous night. And I think the other thing that's fabulous is that it's not raining and that we could all see each other in person, many of you for the first time in so long. And so I'm so grateful that all of you are here. So let me talk about Neighborhood Family Practice, which is why we're all here. I want you to think for a minute about the phrase, partnering with the community for everyone's best health. So that's been our mission for many, many, many years. But during the pandemic, wow, that was really our mission. And we're here tonight to honor some of the folks that really made that dream come alive. Because during COVID, partnering was what we had to do. So let me just talk a little bit about the past year and a half. So when COVID hit, I think we were all terrified. We didn't know what we were going to do. But Neighborhood Family Practice, we came together and we figured it out. We figured it out fast. First of all, we figured out that we had to reach out to our patients and tell them that we were here for them and that we were there to answer all the questions that they had about COVID. And then we called them and told them, and we have telemedicine options for you. And then we called and told them that we could test them and that, you know, we set up a testing program in the parking lot when like no one was doing testing. And there's physicians and others here tonight that were out there in the freezing cold, that were out there baking in the sun and sweating through their gowns. But when the community called, we answered, and that's what we do, because we are a community-based federally qualified health center, and that's what we do. We want to be there for the community. We're not there for the money. We're not there. We are there because what does our community need? And during COVID, community needed partners. It needed Neighborhood Family Practice. So once we got testing under our belt, then bring it on with the vaccines. So I don't know about you. I was pretty excited when I got those shots. And I bet most of you in this room were pretty excited when you got those shots. And we thought once everybody gets the shots, we're going to be good. How many people in this room thought that? This is it, man. We're going to go through these shots, you know, in 6 months. We're all going to be sitting around together in a restaurant. You know, it's going to be, well, you know, it isn't. But you know what? We're here. And it was thanks to our community partners during that time that we were able to reach out, because what has everybody felt over this past 18 months? We've been afraid. People have been afraid, but Neighborhood Family Practice has not been afraid. Collectively, we have been there and said, we can do this for the community. And when we realized that some of our patients were not willing to come into the community health centers because of fear of COVID, then we reached out to some of the community partners that we had tonight. And that's what we'll talk about in a few minutes. But before we talk about our wonderful community partners, I'd just like to say a few words about Neighborhood Family Practice, because there may be a few people tonight here that are not familiar with what we do. So right now, we serve almost 22,000 patients. That's Thank you. I mean, I live in Cleveland Heights. I think that's about the number of people that live there. So, we're taking care of a city worth of people, and we have never taken care of them with more heart and more care than we have during the past couple of years. We're going all in. But in fact, we went all in for more than that. When we looked back on the people that we've been able to vaccinate, only half of them were patients of ours, because we've reached out to the community, and we know that particularly in communities who are underserved, who are communities of color, they don't always seek out medical care the way you and I might seek it out. And they need that medical care now more than ever. And so, thank you. So, this is a fundraiser, I'm just saying. So when we think about access, we think about those 21,000 people, we think about our 7 locations. There are many things that our patients bring to the table in terms of difficulties in access that you and I don't face. I mean, let's just go back to COVID for a second. Oh, it's COVID. Oh gosh, I can retreat to my, heated and air conditioned house with just myself, and I've got a separate room. I can set up my home office. Well, that's not our patients. Our patients are the essential workers of our community. They are the working families, and they have a lot of barriers that they face in their personal lives, and they have barriers to care as well. One of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is lack of ability to speak English. That's only one of many barriers. Almost 30% of our patients in 2020 spoke a language other than English. And we don't get a dime more when we take care of somebody who doesn't speak English than someone who does speak English. And we have made a wholehearted commitment that at every point in our care, that people will have the interpretation services that they need so that they can get the care that they need. Let's just imagine for a second what it's like to try to get care in a language that you don't speak. And the data is really clear from a scientific standpoint that people that do not have adequate interpretation services have poorer health outcomes. There's no disputing that. And so we're asking you tonight to join with us. You are our partners in this journey. You are partners with us in care to help us care for these folks and make sure that they get all the services they need, including our funded need tonight in interpretation. But before I adjourn, I just wanted to talk about 2 other things. One is your photographer tonight, Christian. Christian himself is our employee. He's a medical assistant. He speaks a gazillion languages. We love him to death. He's a super hard worker, and he's a former refugee. And so I just want to say, Christian didn't want to be up here. Let me be that person, right, Christian? We are the sole intake of refugees coming into our community. I know there's many people passionate about refugees in this audience. We're also passionate about our Hispanic brothers and sisters, most of whom are from Puerto Rico. But these are folks who are either U.S. citizens or they're here because our government invited them, and we should give them a warm welcome. Part of the way that we're giving them a warm welcome part of that warm welcome is interpretation. There's other things, transportation, and we have a multitude of services that I hope you'll want to learn more about if you're not already familiar with us. And then lastly, before I let one of our amazing young doctors, Chad, Garvin, and then Melanie take the stage, is I just want to announce that we on Monday will be closing on a new building in the city of Lakewood. I want to thank all of you who came to us through our partnership with North Coast Health and the merger that we completed with North Coast in 2019. Thank you so much. I know the long-term dream of the North Coast Health Ministry and then North Coast Health was that they could have a bigger building. And we now will be having a bigger building in the Birdtown neighborhood of Lakewood. And we hope to open around the first of the year. So again, I want to thank you, and I would just want to remind you that this is a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. Neighborhood Family Practice needs your support. We need all kinds of support. And I just really, really want to thank you for coming out on this beautiful summer evening. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Chad Garvin, who's been so instrumental in this COVID effort. Dr. Chad. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Thanks, Jean, and thank everybody for being here. I think, so my name's Chad Garvin. I've been a family doc with Neighborhood Family Practice now 6 years. One of the cool things about these events is to hear sort of the history of NFP and sort of see, you know, I would love to ask Jean or Eric or Ann, you know, would you have imagined a veranda fundraiser 30 years ago, right? These aspects of where the growth is and how things have improved. Awesome. And to be involved and included in a project like this is just so, I think it breeds the enthusiasm we all have and where some of us have really enjoyed where the growth have been. So thank you all for coming tonight. What some of the organizers had asked as myself to talk about was a little bit about what had happened earlier last year. And I think as many of us realize, I mean, this event was a virtual event last year. That COVID changed a lot of what we did, changed a lot of how we operated, right? And early on, one of the flips we made was to go to virtual medicine. We went to virtual medicine before we sort of knew what that meant. Jean shaking her head. That we didn't quite know what we were doing, but we dove wholeheartedly because I think NFP's history and sort of what I enjoy again about these events is talking to people about NFP does hard things. NFP signs up to provide access to people who have otherwise been told no. And I think that telemedicine provided access initially for the initial check-ins. What are your questions about COVID? That as I sort of embarrassingly would probably don't want to hear what I was telling people about COVID last spring. The ability to talk to patients about what those concerns were. Why do people trust NFP is because we're willing to make that sort of effort to folks. What do people trust about NFP? It's the ability to move from initial check-ins. We're going to try and do chronic disease management through a video. And I still, you know, it's a wild world out there. We were doing diabetic checks in the parking lot on Ridge Road in Denison, because that's what one does, right? As of this month, 75,000 visits have occurred for patients at Neighborhood Family Practice through virtual means. I think, you know, as we sort of talk to other organizations and other institutions in the area, one of the things that is notable about NFP is our retention rate. That if you compare us to other FQHCs in the area, other major health institutions, one of the big things that comes out with Neighborhood Family Practice patients is the retention rate. Is that we are markedly improved, or in fact, the highest performer in the area about people who come to Neighborhood Family Practice and stay with us. That retention rate and that trust piece is a huge deal. Moving on, when we telemedicine, I remember the early meetings with Dr. Melanie, who you guys will meet here in a second. That this idea of what would testing be when, you know, testing, you know, this crazy world. No, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it big. And we're going to be the consistent provider of testing on the near west side of Cleveland for anybody, whether that's our patients who have never come into contact. We're going to go outside of the office. And as Jean said, in the snow, in about 98 degrees, right? You know, that element of we're going to do it, and we're going to do it 5 days a week. We're still doing it 5 days a week. That is 9,000 tests for COVID that have occurred for our patients and in the community as of now. I think many of those patients were vaccinated. As we look and slice and dice the demographics, I think we have overrepresented the vulnerable populations that we serve. That I think much of what we found in COVID was that COVID made more apparent those dividing lines and disparities that NFP and everyone here in this room is aware of. That those disparities NFP is willing to take on and overcompensate for. That I think we have, and if you look at our poster board that Gina has been very proud of, I think you'll see that change as well. vaccine efforts has been the most fun thing to talk about, right? Take a breath here. In 200 days, so we got our first vaccines that showed up at Neighborhood Fan Practice on January 20th. In the first 200 days of that happening and showing up at all sorts of weird hours and dealing with FedEx and vaccinating people in all sorts of wild places, 25,000 shots have been put in the arms of people on the near west side of Cleveland. 25,000 shots, 13,000 patients, and yet again, successful in providing those vaccines to patients and communities who have struggled with access long before COVID, during COVID, and what we all acknowledge is likely sort of where we are now and headed forward. So I think that the effort and the teamwork that has required is remarkable, right? This is not something you just show up and you just say, 25,000 shots. I remember December meetings of what we thought, what would a plan be if we did 50 shots in a day? Right, Melanie like shakes over there. We had a plan, right? And you had a plan and you had this history of NFP pushing and pushing and pushing, and we are going to do the right thing for the community at large. That piece has been consistent. That's a through line that I think you will hear again and tonight. None of this is possible without community partnerships. You know, one of the fun things about tonight is seeing all the people. You know, I've been joking with people. I've seen a lot of people on Zoom, and then now here we are in person. Like, how tall are people actually, right? That in the course of since about February through now, we've partnered with over 35 organizations in the community. That finding people to vaccinate is not simply just plant a flag. It was in January, but now it is finding people, finding those partnerships, finding those trust relationships. And I think what NFP has proven for 40 plus years now is that we have that history of establishing those relationships. This work has been done long before COVID, long during COVID, and long after COVID. I'm going to pass back to Gene here. We're going to talk about some of the particular folks that we partnered with early on, and then through the vaccine process here that I think that we are most happy to honor and talk about specifics there.
Thank you, Chad. And I just have to say, Chad and others, Melanie, and you'll hear from, and so many others in this room that are on the NFP staff have just worked countless Saturdays and evenings, and getting that effort out. But other people that were there with us on Saturdays are the organizations that we want to honor tonight. So when we first started doing vaccines, and it was like the 80-somethings, we were like, where are our Hispanic patients? Like the first Saturday, we're like, something is wrong. We need to reach out. And so there were so many folks, do we remember way back when it was like 80, I was 75 years old. And okay, we knew right away that there were people who were isolated in their homes and that they needed those shots, and that we were going to have to make an extra special effort to get there. So who did we call on? The Hispanic Roundtable. And the folks from the roundtable got together. They made a plan. They made I don't know how many calls to folks. I'm looking at Maureen, who I saw at so many vaccination events, and she's well, come on up here, Hispanic Roundtable. Go around the back, it's best. Let's give it up for Hispanic Roundtable.
Well, I'll introduce everybody, and actually I did come prepared to say a few words, if that's okay. I don't know if Jose wants to kick us off. So what I wanted to say is that Jose Feliciano Sr. here, who's the president of the Hispanic Roundtable, Diana Gates, who's a member of the Hispanic Roundtable, and myself are absolutely honored because we were involved in the COVID-19 vaccine outreach task force. And we're so grateful to Neighborhood Family Practice for the special recognition for our organization, which has as its mission to act as a catalyst for the Hispanic community through E3, made up by here the president, which means empowerment, education, and economic development. Megan Meister contacted our roundtable member, Deanna Gates. Megan. In February 2021, I believe it was 1 week before your planned event of February 17th, your first event, to explore a partnership whereby our organization would perform outreach and enrollment of eligible Latinos for a vaccine clinic that they were offering at Sagrada Familia Church. This was the beginning of a very fruitful endeavor whereby the Hispanic Roundtable, through our task force volunteers, registered over 3,500 Latinos, starting with the 10 community events that were offered by NFP between February 17th and the end of May in our community, with an additional 10 follow-up dates for second doses. So at least 20 altogether that we got started with, and eventually other providers followed suit. So NFP was the groundbreaker with this initiative. This partnership was crucial for assisting individuals in the community who, as Jean said, otherwise would not have been able to secure vaccines on their own. We did outreach through media sites that were familiar in Spanish, like Facebook. We provided our personal cell numbers and provided personal registrations in Spanish for individuals with no digital access or wherewithal, answering many questions and sending follow-up reminder texts. We offered sites that were familiar to the community thanks to NFP's creative thinking, and helped explain how to get there, where to park, what door to go in, what to bring with them, and what to expect. Because as you can imagine, it's all foreign and very nerve-wracking for the people coming for the first time for their vaccines. The volunteers at the sites were bilingual, and a very effective word-of-mouth network developed like wildfire that helped spur this effort. We thank Jean Polster, Megan Meister, Dr. Chad Garvin, who was really the mastermind behind the process, I have to say, and all of the wonderful, organized, responsive, self-sacrificing staff and volunteers that you have, from Amy, Dr. Melanie, Michelle, and on, for your dedication and genuine effort to figure out with us how to reach the most underserved. I know we were making it up as we went along, but I would have to say that together we figured it out down to a science. Nothing was more satisfying than the gratitude expressed over and over and over by the participants. I've been blessed 1,000 times. Yeah, Dios le bendiga, Dios le bendiga. Well done. And on behalf of a community that is often overlooked, we thank you profusely from the bottom of our hearts. If I may say, I would like to acknowledge the 5 members of our bilingual volunteer registration outreach team at the roundtable who worked so hard signing people up along with myself. Lorraine Vega, Ruth Rubio, Ingrid Angel, Lori, and Adrian Maldonado. and Susan Poole, who entered data for me, and the many very active community members who took it upon themselves to round people up in their neighborhoods, families, friends, everything, and tell them to contact me, such as Angel Ortiz, Maritza Marrero, and Evelyn Gonzalez. So we are indebted to you all. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias.
So, as Maureen alluded to, that many of these partners are sort of, we had relationships before. I will set the stage as the storytelling family I'm from, that on a night not as warm as quite as this, but on an afternoon and Saturday, one of the things we did is COVID testing outreach. We were in a church parking lot, standing in a parking lot as cars lined up, as we did about 60 to 80 COVID tests, somewhere in that number. Numbers are all sort of blurring at this point. One of the things that I think as we were asked and begging for more and more vaccines early on, one of the things that the governor's office, when we got an opportunity to do a pop-up event, is we were asked to do in a faith-based community, or sort of a faith-based house of worship. And I think it was a natural no-brainer for an NFP to partner back with La Sagrada Familia Church. La Sagrada Church is in a neighborhood that where NFP lives, where many of our patients live, and I think it was a natural, as Maureen said, as we made it up as we went. We were given about a 6-day heads up, and we showed up and did a couple hundred vaccines. That then turned into a winter and spring of repetitive, ongoing partnerships, and spending lots of time in a gymnasium, for lack of, yeah, that's where we were, as Camille laughs. I think the story I can tell with this is that as I stood there with Father Francisco, who couldn't be here with us tonight, is he and I are standing on the side as these vaccines, we've got tables set up, we planned all these chairs. A patient comes up to me, a patient of mine. I said, Carmela, where have you been? We've been calling you. And he's laughing at me. I know you have. Okay, what is it? I said, what are you doing here? He said, that guy told me to come, Father Francisco. And I think it sort of alludes to the reason we're out in the community, the reason we're out in all these organizations, the reason these community partnerships matter so much to us is that I think our patients trust those community partnerships, see those partnerships as beneficial. And there's a trust element that has been a huge issue throughout much of this year. And I think that La Sagrada Familia has filled that trust gap for many of our patients. We have vaccinated over 1,200 patients specifically at La Sagrada Familia Church. So as I said, Father Francisco can't be here tonight, but Camille Garcia, who was instrumental in facilitating that relationship, facilitating that organization, has been vital to that success, vital to all of our crazy asks of 200 vaccines turns into 500 on a Monday, turns into 300 on a Saturday, who knows, right? So thank you for everything. Camille, come on up here. We'd like to give you an award. Next on our list is much of what was happening throughout the winter here was a lot of game planning, strategy planning, and trying to figure out where can we be. And we were talking to other FQHCs on the east side of town. faith-based centers have been incredible, incredible volume of vaccines and incredible success. And where we had similar success, we were looking to move beyond Sagrada, not because they weren't great, but because we needed more people. And one of the things that we found is that the closer you could be geographically in certain neighborhoods, the more impact you could have, right? So one of the neighborhoods we identified early on was the Puritas neighborhood. The Puritas neighborhood was a dearth of testing, was a dearth of vaccines, and had limited access. And again, a similar story, and it was on St. Patrick's Day, so a memorable day for me. We stand there in a church basement, and I remember talking to Pastor Thomas and Clarence Siddles of what is this going to look like, right? And Clarence shrugs as he stands there. He had no. Is we said, you know, this is going to be an event for the church community. The congregation is going to show up. They're going to show out, and they did. Several hundred patients have been vaccinated at St. Paul AME Church. But what I think was most notable is hearing from Pastor Thomas, this is open to the community. This is going to be an open door policy. We are going to vaccinate anyone who walks through that door and is willing to walk down the stairs, right? We had an issue about the stairs, we figured it out. But I think that piece of when you're working with community partners and see that dynamic of not just success with the congregation you're trying to particularly outreach to, but the idea that just like NFP, that many of these organizations are serving the people that they see in our every day, but the people that they're around. That was most notable to me. And again, several hundred patients made it through St. Paul AME Church. And it's been, as I personally would say, and Amy back there, it's one of the more fun days we've had. The energy and the dynamic there was notable and impressive, and has been an incredible new partnership. So, Pastor Thomas and Clarence, if you don't mind coming on up here, we'll take another.
Hey everybody, I am Melanie Golombieski. I am a family doc, preventive medicine, public health doc. I work at the 117th and Lorraine office. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to introduce our community partner, Urban Community School, near and dear to my heart for lots of reasons. But I don't know if we didn't mention this earlier, but there was a time where the state said, here's some vaccines, use them in a week. And if you don't, we're not going to give you more. And so, of course, we were like, oh, don't take away our vaccines. We love them. We want them to go out into all the arms. And we were always asking, are we giving these in the right place? Are we calling the right people? Are we hitting the communities where it's hard for them to get? And when we were looking for more places, it was a simple phone call, a simple email to Nora and to Tom Gill about, can we come to your gym next week and give out vaccines? The answer was just, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Because that's what they do. They have the same mission, the same drive, the same thing that keeps them going as we do at NFP. And so they are in the community that we serve, serving the children and the families. And it was an easy partnership. And knowing that kids cannot get vaccines, even today, many of the children, it's not approved for them yet. How can we best start to protect kids? And one of that way was to partner with schools. And so we could not be more grateful for the open door that they gave us, the ease that it was, and providing vaccines in that community that, again, didn't have an easy access point. So if Tom and Nora can come up, we just thank you so much for all of your help.
So, one last time you hear from me, I promise. But there's this idea of community partnerships, and I think a lot of what I think you guys have heard in the last, those organizations that we partnership were able to find patients. and find the right patients, find the patients who are struggling, particularly early on, to find vaccines. One of the things that I get asked a lot of times is, well, how did you guys pull this off? And there's a lot of NFP is going to show up, is going to do the hard things, is going to find the resources to do it. There was a meeting in January, about January 12th, where we had planned for a student-run health clinic. The students were going to run a free medical clinic, or a medical clinic for patients on Saturdays, and I am there to do the IT help. And that IT help turned into, at the end, I said, I think we might get an email next week. That my email might be vaccines. I have no idea how many vaccines that might be. I don't know who, or I don't know who the email comes from. I don't know anything. But thank you for coming. And hey, it's going to be a lot of fun when we do this run health clinic next week, right? On a Tuesday night, we got an email that we have 600 vaccines that we got to move, as Melanie said, in a week. On the course of these 200 days of adventure of 25,000 vaccines, the only way that this works is we have 200 Case Western Reserve University students from the licensed independent social work school, nursing school, medical school, physician assistant school, and dental school that showed up and rocked it, and literally showed up and were the workforce that you need to put needles in arms and answer patient questions and show, demonstrate a compassion level that I can't even describe. On Saturdays alone, so many of you in this building, I think have been to Ridge on a Saturday vaccine day. Energy is palpable. It's one of the most fun days I'll ever have in my career. The reason that works is because Case Western students showed up and were the energy for that. To the degree where when we told them that we were going to start going out in the community, that we have this crazy idea that we're going to start going to churches and doing it in schools and doing all this stuff, not only did they agree to manage the student-run health clinic, the commitment on Saturdays where there was vaccines every single day, 8 to 5, longer than we care to admit. What they showed up is then they were also there at St. Paul AME Church. They were there at Urban Community. They ran the whole thing for us. So please join me in congratulating and thanking Dr. Lisa Navacruz and Destiny here, who are representatives from that student-run health committee.
Take us home. It is a hot night. All right. We are going to get out. We're going to bid. We're going to auction. We are going to drink some more wine, and we're going to have fun. Across the nation, gaps in healthcare are large. They're persistent. They are increasing. Many of them are caused by barriers that are set up along every level of society to make it harder to be healthy. Health equity means increasing these opportunities for everybody to live the healthiest life that's possible. No matter who you are, where you live, how much money you make, the color of your skin, what country you come from. Everyone wants health. Everybody wants to be healthy. But for many of our patients at NFP, that is not easy to come by. Health equity is crucial to a vibrant nation and our neighborhoods. And when everybody can live a healthier life, we are all better off. At NFP, we have always been committed to helping those that have been historically excluded from living healthy lives. We see our patients as mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandmas, grandpas. They are our people. They are our community family, each and every single one of them, as are all of you guys. So our compassion for others, commitment to being in and of the community that we serve, we are experts in providing healthcare to this community. And we are committed to being there and being innovative to be this critical piece to address the health inequities that are there. The people that work and have worked and will work at NFP are remarkable. They're inspiring. They've given time and energy where honestly, I did not think the time and energy existed, but they were there. From the front door to the back, this was a team effort every step of the way. So I can't imagine working another place. Sure. Yeah. And COVID has shed light on this interconnectedness. You know, we all learned that growing up. We're all connected to the earth, to our family, to our friends. This has shown us bright as day. I am connected to you. You are connected to me. Everybody in Cleveland, there is a level of connectedness that expands beyond. Our communities cannot have health without bringing everybody along. The illness and death of our community relatives, from whatever the cause, impacts more than just their family. It ripples throughout the community. It lives on for years into the future. We are all here because we know this. We feel the interconnectedness, and we share this interconnectedness with our community family. Failure is not an option. It's never been an option for an NFP. It's never gonna be an option for NFP. Yeah. And the curtain's been lifted. The light has been shown. It is bright on the inequities in our community and throughout. Our doors at NFP are wide open, and they will be that way for years and years to come. We will be serving those at risk for poor outcomes, and together we can move forward toward health equity and true community health for our community family. For each of us here, our roles in this mission may be different, but they need to be there, and we need to stay involved. That mission is clear. We cannot do this without bringing everyone along. So please help us continue this work. As Jean said, this is a fundraiser. And you being here tonight helps us with that. So a heartfelt thank you to everybody that is here, every partnership that hit the pavement with us, that welcomed us in, that made this happen, because this was everyone's work. This was not just NFP's work. This was everyone's work. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from everybody in NFP that we've worked with. Thank you so much. And I don't know if someone's coming up after me, but please enjoy the rest of your night. I look forward to talking to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Thanks for your patience. What an awesome night. I mean, just to be together right now, it's a big deal, right? Look at what we've been through. And look at NFP. Look at all the patients they take care of. I want you to dig deep right now and remember that all the dollars we raise tonight, they're going to go places that NFP does big things. So when we're going to do 7 live auction items, and Gina Gavlak is here. She is so instrumental and monumental in the success of this evening. How about a big round of applause for Gina? Do you want to take over and you'll introduce the item, and then we're going to bid. So when we bid, now I'm fat, I will run. I'm wearing a mask because I scream and I don't want my germs to get on you because I'm very loud. So when I run around after Gina introduces the item, if you guys want to bid, just come, raise your place cards as high as you possibly can. These are amazing items. Take it away.
Thanks, Andrew. And I wanted to thank everybody for your patience. So I think we'll be able to move through this really quick. Our first auction item we're incredibly excited about, and we're even more excited about it because the Cleveland Browns ended their year on an up note last year. And then we're excited to still have Nick Chubb with us and, of course, Baker Mayfield. So tonight, our live auction package with the Browns is a draft room experience. So the draft room, it will provide an opportunity for two draft room tickets that include premium seating in section 129, row 18, seats 9 and 10. The really fun thing about this too is if you've ever been to the draft room has premium, really good high-end food, great liquor, beer, wine. So all of that is included in this package. So, and in addition, for those of you who love to do some tailgating, we do have this package over here that is connected with the Browns draft room package. So we have a cornhole, a giant Jenga, a giant Connect 4, a cooler, of course. And of course, if you're giving away a cooler, you got to give away some beer. So we'll turn it over to Andrew.
All right, we're going to start. The value of this is $1,250. We're going to start it at $800. Let's have a little fun. Remember, I mean, I bid on one of these with my wife 2 years ago. We won a trip. We're going to Florida, I think, finally, because COVID happened. So bid. There we go. We'll start off at 800. We'll have here, we're over to 9. I got 9, make it over to 10. Make it over to 10, over to 11. I got 11, make it over to 1,200. I got 1,100 in the back. 12 over to 150, make it over to 13. I got 12 over, make it over to 13. I got 13 to 197. I love you for that. 1,300. I got 1,300 right here who wants to make it 14. I got 1,300 over here. Who wants to make it 14?
Andrew in the back.
We got the back. Okay.
Big.
This is so fun. 150's got 1,400. How about over to 1,500? Who wants to make it 1,500? Back over to you. Would you be willing? 1,500 for 197. 1,500. Okay, I got $1,500 now for the Cleveland Browns exclusive access. I got 1,500 over at table 5. Does anybody want 16? Well, anybody want to make it for 16? I got 1,500 right here. You, 197. I got 1,500 going once, going twice. Give 197 a big round of applause. Have so much fun. Gina.
All right, live auction number 2 is a trip to the Sheraton Vistana Resort in Orlando, Florida. This is a package actually that's over Thanksgiving. So the winner will be able to stay at a 2-bedroom villa from November 25th through the 28th. The villa sleeps 8 adults, has a ton of amenities. If you look at your phone and then also on the screen, we included some pictures. A very, very great auction item, close to Disney, of course, because it's in Orlando. And we're very excited to have this donation.
Yeah, you know what's great too? When you go to Disney, you spend like $700 a night, like a night. So like to get this place for a value of $1,100, it's a steal. All right, we're going to start the bidding at $650. The value is $1,100. Do I hear $650? Do you hear $650? $650. 463, 650, make it over to 750. I got 650. Who wants 750? Come on, trip to Orlando, 5 nights in November, right around Thanksgiving. Can sleep up to 8. The value's at 11. 235. I love that about you. We got 750. Back over to here. I got 750. Can we make it over to 850? I got 750. Who wants to make it over to 850? 750. This is a trip to Orlando with your family. Sleeps 8 of your family members. $1,100 in value. Table 23, I love that number. They've got it at 750. Anybody want to make it over to 850? You look like a man that wants to go to, or I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, I'm sorry. Anybody over on here on the side of the room want to go 850? Trip to Orlando? I'm not going to beg. It's still a pretty penny. 750 going once. 750 going twice. Sold at table 23. How about giving this young lady a big round of applause? What number are you? 235. That's 235. Gina, take it away.
All right, so those of you who love sushi, and I think we had some really good sushi here this evening as well. Live auction number 3 is a private sushi dinner. That's for that's for 6 people at the comfort of your own home. It's prepared by a personal sushi chef, Ini Noma, who's been a sushi chef for over 30 years. What you'll do, or what'll end up happening with this package is, as mentioned, the private chef will come to your home. They'll go ahead and have a space that's set up. What is included in this is 3 starters. Also, whatever the special seafood of the day, that will also be included. The nigiri sushi, and then desserts, and of course, green tea.
Who loves sushi? I mean, I love that about you. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start the bidding at $750. It's valued at $1,100, a private sushi dinner. Who wants to start it off at $750? $750 over here, but $150 over to $850, back over to $850, over to $950. I got $950 back over to you for $1050. I got $950 over here. Who wants to make it over to $1050? I got $950 over here. Who wants to make it over to $1050? Come on. Dig deep with me for sushi, damn it. Let's go. I'm just... $1,000. I love this man. I'll make you sushi. I got $1,000 here. Back over to you for $1,100. I got $1,000. Who wants to go over to $1,100? I got $1,000 right here. Who wants to make it $1,100 for a private sushi dinner? You can't hide out here. Actually, you didn't hide. You're going to Orlando. That's so beautiful. Mickey loves you. All right, where's my $1,000 right here? You're going over to 11? Thank you. Would you be willing to go to 12? Not yet? Okay, I respect that wholeheartedly. I really do. You're very coy, and I respect that. I've got $1,100 right here. I've got $1,100 right here. Would anybody like to make it 12? Anybody want to make it 12? $1,100 going once. $1,100 going twice. $1,150. Oh. Would you be willing to make it a $100 increment? Would you be willing to go to 12? All right, he's going to go to 12. Do you want to make it over to 13? Okay, I got $1,200 right here. $154. $1,200 going once. $1,200 going twice. Give that man a big round of applause. Number 254. 254. Table 17. Have some sushi. Gina.
Thank you so much. All right, live auction number 4 is a week stay at Lake Chautauqua. For those who have been to our event before, this package is always a crowd pleaser and one that everybody's looking for. The beauty of this page.
Marblehead first. We're excited. We're okay.
Oh my gosh.
Give Gina a big round of applause and everybody at NFP. Come on. You are beautiful people here. I love seeing the faces.
I'm sorry.
Don't you dare be sorry. Why the heck would you?
Okay, well, let's have a stay in Marblehead before we get to Lake Chautauqua. So you could always do both. All right, so let's go to Marblehead. So this one is enjoy a 1-week stay at a beautiful condominium that's up in Marblehead. This one is 3 bedrooms, sleeps 6, has 2 full baths, a pool, has a tennis courts and pickleball courts as well. Wi-Fi, of course, is included. One of the nice things with this package too is this is a great place to go to get away from all the chaos that goes along with all of our everyday day-to-day living. The other piece of this too is there are 2 guest day passes to Bay Point Resort and Marina, which is located actually right next to where this condominium is at. With this, you'll have the opportunity to, and how this works for a day pass is you take your vehicle and as many people as you can put in that vehicle, that's how many people get in with the pass. So find your largest vehicle, friends who has the biggest vehicle, whatever, to be able to invite them. It also includes $100 that you can use at the restaurant that's there. And we'll turn it over to Andrew.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool because we're all looking for a fun place to go. And it comes with a lot of good gift certificates, a week stay in Marblehead, valued at $1,300. You have literally until August 31st next year to use this. So the value of this is $1,300. We're going to start the bid at $8,000. Who wants to stay in Marblehead for a week?
This has some gift cards.
And this has a lot of gift cards to restaurants as well. I think there's like 161 kicks it off. Give her a big round of applause for kicking it off. I love that. All right, $800 over there, $9. I got $800. Who wants to make it over to $9? $253 for $9. We got $1,000 for $307. I got $1,000 now. I got over $1,000. I got $1,000 back over here for $1,100. $1,100 over here who wants to make it to 12. I got 11 over here who wants to make it over to 12. I got 11 over here who wants to make it over to 12. You were willing to do 1,000, table 16. Would you go to 12? I don't mean to put you on the spot. You're a beautiful man. Oh, same table. Now we can have a little fun. No, I'm not going to put you on the spot. It's no big deal. But I do have 1,200 right here. So would anybody be willing to go back to 13? Sure. Can you bring a beagle? Snoopy? Are you talking like a legitimate beagle? Can you bring a dog?
I will text the owner and ask.
Oh, goodness gracious. This changes things. You've changed things forever. All right, so right now we have $195 for $1,200. You are winning. You were willing to go 11, but you're an amazing person, and we know that. So we got that man for 12. If the beagle works out, that means you're going to think about going to 13? Oh, shoot. All right, everybody else having a good time?
Oh, please.
Everybody else having a good time? For crying out loud? We're figuring out about beagles right now.
So the owner of the property is actually watching the live stream, and he said beagles are fine. Any dogs are fine.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. 1,300 over here to the woman with the beagle. Would you be willing to go to 14? 14, back over here, back over to you to 15 for the beagle. Back over to 1,500. I got 1,400. I got 1,400. Anybody want to go over to 1,500? 1,500. You going 15? We got 1,400 right here. You went to 15. The husband says, okay, I love that. We got 1,500. You guys are doing great. Thank you so much for your support. I got 1,500 right here.
This one has a lot of food packages too. There's one, let's see here. Thank you.
$400 worth of food? A part of this?
Yeah, worth of gift cards.
Of gift cards.
Yeah.
And you get the darn house.
And you
get to bring a damn beagle. Or any dog. Goldfish, hamster, whatever the heck you want.
No cats.
$1,500 going once.
Oh, in the back.
Where? Oh my goodness. $1,600. Where in the world did you come from? You're in the back. Darn right. 1,600. Back over to you for 17. Back over to you for 17. I got 1,600 in the back. Who wants to make it 17? I got 1,600 in the back. Anybody want to make it over to 17? I got $1,600 going once. Oh! Anita Cook, for crying out loud. $1,700. I'm coming out here. Do you want to make it over to 18? I'm not trying to make you nervous. I'm just asking the question. You were willing to go 17. Do you want to make it over to 18? You can bring your dogs. I know you have them because I hear this nice lady saying it. So I got 1,700 inside for Anita Cook. Do you want to make it over to 18? I'm telling you, this is worth it. Marblehead's a nice place. But I got 1,700 going once. I've got 1,700 going twice. Sold. Give her a big round of applause. Way to go. Gina.
All right. Thank you. All right. Live auction number 5. I have to make sure I have the right one here. So this is the Come Design at Our Table. This table, if you haven't seen it, is actually sitting over here. A beautiful table, live edge table made by Zazu Woodworking in Bedford Heights. The dimensions on this table, it's 7 feet 6 inches in length. Width, it varies, of course, because it's if it's a live edge, it's between 2 and 2.8 feet. And then the height is about 2.4 feet. Think about the table. It doesn't have to be a dining room table. It's a beautiful piece that could be a centerpiece for your room. For those of you who are like me, who might struggle with, oh my God, I love this, but I'm not sure what to do with it. We do also have a 90-minute interior design consultation with Angela Roth, the certified color consultant, former Sherwin-Williams in-home consultant for 4 years, has 6 years of experience in architectural coverings and 14 years of experience in interior design. So her and the table, you could redesign a whole space.
Okay, so the table is coming home with the winner, and then you get to explain. Are they gonna? Is that the table that they're gonna get?
The table's over here. I do realize that if you don't have a vehicle that's big enough to put that table into, that might present some challenges. So the person who donated the table is willing to take the table home and make arrangements with you to get the table to you or for you to pick the table.
I mean, it's a darn nice table.
Yeah, and you don't have to use the interior design piece with the table. You can package them together, or you can do your own thing.
I don't know what your dining rooms look like at your homes, but I think that table would look really good there. So we're gonna start the bid at $700. The value's at $2,150. Would anybody like to kick it off at $700? Who needs a new table? They whittled it out of some amazing piece of wood that they found in an enchanted, I have no idea where they found the wood. I have no idea, but it's a real nice table. Anybody? Who wants a table? It's really nice and a design. Valued at $2,150. The bidding starts at $7. The table is right over there if you want to go lick it, touch it, step on it, stand on it, make sure it's real. It's really nice. You can put your beagle on it. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, anything else we're missing about this table? I mean, it's really nice. You get an interior design consultation with Angela Roth. I mean, 90 minutes to really get your house looking great. And then you get this table. So anybody want to go at $700? You're getting a steal. Do you want a table for our house? Yeah, I tried for my wife too. Anybody? It's totally cool if you don't want it. Can't force you. You're all beautiful. We're having fun. Let's move. What do you want to do? All right. I like where your head's at. How about 500 we'll start it at? Does anybody want it for 500? 500? Okay, Gene Polster. Very nice. Anybody want to make it 6? Getting a heck of a deal. $500 going once. 6, the size of the table.
All right, the size. Oh, I have it up in case, but if you can't, if that's too far away, it's 7 feet 6 inches in length. One end is 2 feet, the middle's about 2.8 feet, the end is 2. And then the height is 2.4 feet.
Number 349 for give this man a big round of applause for bidding on the table. Yes. I know, I am not a strong man. I'm a fat man, but I don't think I can lift this, Anita. It's very sturdy and it's very heavy. Gina, would you be mad if I broke? Yeah, I mean, it is solid. Your families are going to have Thanksgivings here. $600 over here. Anybody want to make it 7? I got $600 over here. Anybody want to make it 7? $600 going once. $600. You have the most amazing, just everything about you right now is golden. $600 going twice. Give this man a big round of applause. $349. Next year at this event, will you take a picture of your family dining at that table with a beagle? Okay. Okay, perfect. It comes with a beagle. All right, so we're moving on to Chautauqua.
Yes. All right, a week stay at Lake Chautauqua. So beauty of this one, it's conveniently located between Long Point State Park and Burmis Point. It does sleep 8, has 2 bedrooms, a full bath downstairs, master bedroom and bath, bunk rooms upstairs. It's available after Labor Day to before June 24th of 2022. And the beautiful thing about this area is it's beautiful regardless of the time of year that you go. Very short 2-hour and 45-minute drive. 2-hour drive from Cleveland and about 45 minutes to Peak and Holiday Valley if you're a skier.
All right, great trip to Lake Chautauqua, valued at $1,300. We're going to start it over at 8. Who wants to go to Chautauqua with your family? Start it over at 800. It's $800. Yes. Oh, back over to 9. I got 900. Who wants to make it an even 1,000? I got $1,000 right here. Back over to you for 1,100. Who wants to make it over to 12? I got 11 back over to 12. Who wants to make it over to 13? I got $1,200. 13. 14 for 221. Let's make it over to 15. I got 14 for 221. Who wants to make it over to 15? I got 1,400.
Andrew.
Yes, 280. Thank you. I got 1,500 over there. Do you want to make it over to 16? I got 15 over in the corner. Yes, 290 over to 16. Give him a big round of applause. The love, the energy. I got 1,600. Can you say that?
They said we'll do it twice and they could bring the beagle.
I love that. So here's what we're willing to do. They're willing to do 2, which is pretty cool. So right now, where's my bid? I got 1,600 right here for 280, correct? Okay. So I think what I just heard is that you'd be willing to do 2. So over here, you were 1,700. So would you both be willing to do this for 1,600 and you both can have it? That way, we'll make $3,200 and you both will have a week. Would you be willing to do that? You will? And you're good over here too? Just want to make sure it's official. You're good over here too for 1,600? Give them both a big round of applause. Have fun in Chautauqua. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
That's just awesome.
Thank you, Cheryl and John, for adding an extra week on there. We appreciate that. Okay, last live auction package. We had a lot of great items this year. All right, this one's called Ride the Sky, and there's a ton of information, so I'm just going to read through this here. So this is an all-inclusive package for 2 people. You can either split the amount of flight time, or you can take a passenger who can take photos while you're flying the plane. What you'll have is up to 5 hours of training, 2.5 on the ground and 2.5 in the air. What you end up doing is for the first leg of the flight, you end up departing from Medina Airport. You fly into Port Clinton, where then you have lunch at the world famous Tin Goose Diner. And then from there you fly back. And this is just a great opportunity. Your passenger can be any age, but the pilot has to be at least 12 years old. The person who is the pilot who does the training is a friend of mine who works at MCPC. His name's Andy Jones. He's got the biggest, most fun personality, and he's trained his daughters how to be pilots as well. So if you're looking to log hours, he also can log the hours for you. He has his official, I don't know what it's called, ability to do that. Over to you, Andrew.
That's so cool. So yeah, learn to fly, ride the sky. Values priceless. and we will start it at $600. Who wants to ride the sky? Who wants to ride the sky? Who wants to learn how to fly? Have a little lunch. Nice 5-hour flight. Pretty awesome opportunity. Anybody want to start it off at $600? 253, make it over to 6. Back over to you for 7. Thank you, 257. I got $700 over at table 24. Want to make it back over to 8? I got $700 in the back. Does anybody want to make it over to 8? 800. Thank you, 199. I appreciate you, sir. 199 back over to 8. Would you be willing to go over to 9? I got 8 over here. Would you be willing over to 9? I got $800 over here at table number 5, number 199. Would you be willing to go back over to 900? Very cool opportunity to fly in the sky for 5 hours with lunch. I've got $800 right over here at number 5. Does anybody want to make it over to 9? $800 going once. Thank you, 217. Hallelujah. $900. Would you be willing to go to 1,000? I got $900 over here. Would you be willing to go over to 1,000? He's willing to go to 1,000, number 199. Yes. I got $1,000 over here. $1,000 going once. Yes, it is a fundraiser. Remember where all these dollars are going, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. $1,000 going twice. 1,100 to 217. All right. Would you be willing to go over to 12? I got $1,100 over here. Would you be willing to make it over to 12? I got $1,100 going once. I got $1,100 going twice. Sold to number 217. Give her a big round of applause. Enjoy yourself. That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
So now we get to the most important part of the evening. You've all been incredible. Can I have one more round of applause for the neighborhood family practice, their volunteers, their doctors, their staff, their board, North Coast Health, everybody. Tell us about the fund to need last year. We know what we're trying to raise this year, $25,000. Tell us about last year's fund to need.
So last year's fund to need was to help expand our pharmacy services. So we started a service for medication home delivery. And last year, fund to need was to raise money to help purchase a vehicle to be able to deliver the medications to people who either don't have access to get to neighborhood family practice to pick up their meds, or it was just a lot. It's to increase access to medications and to help keep people on their medication regimes and treatments. So last year we raised a little shy of $25,000. The vehicle was purchased this March. We hired a driver in April. We launched a pilot run in May, and then in mid-June, we actually moved forward with the full launch of the service line. So I can't thank everybody enough for your donation, your generosity last year, and it really helped us to get to where we needed to be. And we've delivered over 200 prescriptions since the middle of June. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's amazing. And we did it all virtually last year, too, at Summer in the City, which is amazing, too. Gina, this year's fund to need is unreal. And would you tell us about it?
Yeah, and we're going to mix this up just a little bit. I'm going to deviate a little bit from what we were originally going to do just because we are running over on time, and I can't thank you all enough for your patience and your participation and your energy. So when Jean was speaking earlier, she really spoke to the importance of interpretation. And then Melanie, Dr. Golombiewski, talked about too, how really important it is for us to be able to deliver services in the primary language of the individual that we're serving. If you kind of imagine what it would be like if you went in for healthcare and you didn't speak the language that the provider or the medical assistant or whoever it was that was taking care of you, it's healthcare. I think about, as a nurse, I think about how dangerous that is. I think about how many things can go wrong. So what our goal is this evening, and Jean had mentioned Christian is one of our medical assistants. And Christian, if you would just come up here real quick, we were going to have a little bit of a conversation. But what I would really like to do, I know Jean mentioned, shared a little bit about Christian's story. And Christian, if you don't mind, I'm going to give him just a little background. And then there's one question that I am going to have you answer because I loved how you answered it when we were speaking the other day. So Christian and his family came to the United States from the Congo in 2016. He was 19 years old, spoke very little English, put himself through school. He's now a medical assistant at Neighborhood Family Practice. He's in nursing school. which I think is awesome as well. I'm a nurse as well. And then how many languages do you speak?
I speak 5 languages.
So I'm going to let Christian come to the microphone. Okay, so my question to you, Christian, and I don't know if I can jump down here as well as Andrew did. Okay, so my question to Christian was, when you came to the United States and you came to Neighborhood Family Practice for your initial health screenings, which we're the only provider in Cuyahoga County that provide those screenings for refugees being resettled in Cuyahoga County. What was most important to you and your family, and why is it so important to have somebody who speaks whatever language it is that the patient speaks? Could you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, I would. First, jambo na furahi kuwapa karibu yenu tena siku ya leo. Who can say that? No one. So, as an immigrant, I came in US 2016, as she said. Then our screening was made at NFP, which I'm a patient, and I work there too. And the most important thing that we received as me and my family was to have somebody who would understand what was saying and translate the message the way that we were saying it, not to try to translate it or make it something else that they think instead of saying what we said. So the example would be like, I might come there and say like my left leg is hurting, and somebody would be like, say his right leg or eyes, which I might even end up losing my right leg instead of my left leg. So yeah, it is more important to have someone who understands the language through the phone that they use, global and other interpretation languages. And we appreciate every immigrant. We have people from like Latino speakers, Arabic, Nepalese, Swahili, and others who are able to come there every day just because they know their messages will be well transformed to the doctors, and the doctor will be able to tell them their diagnosis through the interpretation languages. So it is more important to have that at NFP, and I'm so thankful to be part of the team.
All right, and Jean mentioned earlier, 24% of our patients speak a primary language and preferred language other than English. And our patients overall speak a total of 59 languages. So there's a lot to do. It's not all refugee and immigrant and secondary migrant patients, but we do take care of many. And we know with everything that's going on worldwide, and especially in Afghanistan, how important it is for there to be places for people who are fearful for their life and their safety to be able to come to and to be welcomed. So Neighborhood Family Practice is very proud of our ability to provide interpretation services. Last year, as I can't remember if Jean shared the cost, but last year Neighborhood Family Practice spent $283,000 on interpretation services. And we do that because without communication, and as Christian had shared, if without correct interpretation, so that way the story is the same, it's very dangerous and it's scary. So we'll turn it over to Andrew, who's going to lead us through Fund to Need.
Thank you. So if you're at home, you can take part in this. You can just go on your phone and you can bid and put your dollars in. And you can see, like, look at this amazing person here. Came here, now he's going to be a nurse. He's putting himself through school, and he's on the board of NFP, and he came here, he didn't know any languages. So think about 25% of all the patients at Neighborhood Family Practice that set up appointments, and they come for their services, and they can't speak. They don't know how to speak the language. $283,000 was spent by NFP last year on their own dime, just so their patients could understand and get the right health care. That's pretty freaking awesome. So sorry, I just get a little choked up thinking about that. We're trying to raise $25,000, and you see where these dollars go. This is one example of thousands. Now, something pretty cool. There's a guy that was here 2 years ago, and he put together a generous donation, and he couldn't be here tonight. And he told us something pretty cool. He said, Andrew, Gina, I'm going to start you off at $2,500 because that's where we're going to start at $2,500. But he said one more thing. He said if 2 people in that room would be willing to give $2,500, he will match that to make that an even $5,000. So what that means is he wants to start us off at $2,500. If 2 of you in this room would be willing to make it $2,500, he will double that. And we would start off at $12,500 tonight. Would anybody, and one other thing, because I know this is important, if you want to bid tonight and provide to the Fund a Need, please just raise your place card so I can read your number, and I will do it slowly. Would anybody like to start off at the $2,500 level, where it's going to be matched and doubled? Would anybody be willing to go over with the 2,500? Number 250. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to you, that is matched and doubled, which means that's at $5,000. Thank you, 250. I know we're asking for a lot of money, and I know, and I just want to thank you all so much for your patience. Look at you all. You're still here. You're all having fun. Gene, your speech was so darn good tonight. It was so good tonight. And you know, Dr. Garvin, you gave it your all. I'm very proud of you too. You could feel the emotion from Gina, from the whole NFP staff, from the volunteers. Anybody else over at 2,500? I know it's a lot of money. $2,500. It's going to be matched and doubled. All right. Well, 250. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for you. So we're going to go down to the $1,000 level. Would anybody like to pledge $1,000 for our Fund a Need? $1,000. If you want, we need you to raise your place cards real high. Anybody want to go for the $1,000 level? Number 351. Thank you. Would anybody else like to? Number 257. Round of applause. Anybody else like to spread the love for $1,000? Number 273. How about that? 273. Beautiful. Anybody else like to give up $1,000? Remember, this is all going, Gina, how important is it?
It's really important. The fact that, if we just think about it, Christian, when he was up here and he was speaking in Swahili, I think he was speaking in Swahili, nobody understood what he was saying. And like he said, you can say one thing in your native tongue, and if it's not interpreted correctly, something completely different can happen.
Just so cool to see how big you've grown at Neighborhood Family Practices, and how you have 7 centers, and now you're getting your new one in Lakewood, and you have midwifery, and you have behavioral health, and you take care of women, and you take care of dentists. It's a one-stop shop at Neighborhood Family Practice. It's like you're making a difference in Cleveland, Ohio. You're providing health care to so many people that don't have the means, and they're not getting turned away. They're not getting turned away. They're being provided health care. Would anybody else like to give $1,000? 233, Gene Polster. 357, thank you, 357. Anybody else at the $1,000 level? That is so generous and so kind. You're incredible.
Grover, how can the people at home participate?
Oh, if you're at home, you're not alone. You're staring at my ugly self. But with that said, you can provide us with your funds as well. So we're up to 10,000. Oh, very cool. I love this. I love that we can see this thermometer. I forgot about it. But if you're at home and you're on your computer, you can put in your dollar amount and let us know, and we will contact you as well. All right, let's go to 500. I hope this is where it starts flowing in. Who wants to give $500? 261. Thank you so much, 261. Who else would like to give $500 for a Fund a Need? Thank you. I'm sorry, Christian. 307. Thank you so much, 307. This is a lot of money. 316. 316. Thank you so much. Anybody else at the $500 level? Number 427. Give him a big round of applause, 427. Anybody else at the $500 level? Number 349. How about that? Thank you so much. Anybody else at the $500 level? You guys are doing amazing. What an awesome group tonight. What a beautiful night to be in Cleveland. The Browns are going to do great. Life is darn good, right? We're getting through the pandemic slowly but surely, and a lot of it's because of what NFP's done. All right, $250 level. We're almost done, and then I'll leave you alone till next year. $250. Who wants it? $250. Here we go. 196. That's 196. Thank you. 313. That's 313 for $250. Anybody else? 359. That's 359 and 377. That's 377. Thank you so much. Awesome job tonight. Give yourselves a big round of applause, by the way. What a great job. All right. I mean, at this point, we'll just go to $100.
Yeah.
And kind of what I'm thinking is on your phones as well. You can still go on your phones. Go on your phones. If you don't want to let us know in person, go on your phones, go on your bid, put in the money, and press enter. So, yeah. I think at this point, $100, we could just let people.
This will be our last level, and if anybody's interested in making a gift at another level, you can go in your phone and enter what amount you'd like to do.
Right.
$100, anybody? Goes a long way. $100 level. If you guys don't want to raise it, that's totally cool too. 353 for 100. 353. 269. That's 269. And you guys can totally do this on your 463. Thank you so much, number 463. And remember, you can do this on your phones as well. Anybody else at the $100 level? Number 334. That's 334. You are amazing. And 332. That's 332. Very cool. Awesome. I think we did great tonight.
All right, thank you. And thank you very much for your patience. All right, the cooler of cheer. I know this is what everybody has been waiting for. So I'm going to have Jay Carson, who is the chair of our North Coast Health Foundation, and Jean Solomon, who's the chair of NFP's board of directors, do the drawing. Come up this way. Cards there. All right. Oh, wait.
I would just like to acknowledge that this event tonight wouldn't have been possible with the tireless effort of Gina and Joyce. So before we draw the Cooler of Cheer Award, I'd just like to say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
NFP. Joyce is doing checkout, so she
Joyce.
can't accept her award.
No,
How typical. Okay, we're on to the Cooler of Cheer.
And I think I'm getting these flowers for the longest program in the history of a nonprofit event. So thank you again for your patience. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I'm Jay Carson. I'm the chair of the North Coast Health Foundation board. And thank you for being here. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. And this is?
I'm Jean Solomon, chair of Neighborhood Family Practice. And again, along with Jay, we'd like to thank you for being here with us tonight and for your investment and partnership. Thank you.
So without further ado, Jean, if you want to cut the deck here, there we go. I will.
Drum roll.
It is the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades. Who's got it? Woohoo! All right. Come on up.
Oh, Joe.
Come on up. Congratulations. Look at that. They match. It's official.
It's a match. All right. Nice job, Mary Jo. Congratulations. All right. Well, Mary Jo will help you get that packaged up and down to your car. I said, we'll help you get that all packaged up. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this evening. NetOps is our presenting sponsor. We can't thank you enough. To all of our other sponsors, thank you for being here, and thank you for being the partners in the work that we do. Have a good night.